KMOX.
Good morning, everyone, on a Thursday, which is going to be a bit of a short day for us as the Cardinals will play this morning. They start at 11:35 Central Time in Pittsburgh, trying to sweep the series against the Pittsburgh Pirates. So we take you up until the 10:40 pregame show today. 314-436-7900 on KMOX to call and text, to leave us voice messages from the Odyssey app. Very simple. There's a button that you click and you record a message and send it. Let us know what is on your mind. You can also listen to the show live for free from that app, and the Cardinals game today. You can listen from the app. Stream the show if you want to on YouTube, Facebook, or Twitter. We are at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
Well, as we've been talking about, well, I guess forever here on this show, downtown St. Louis in desperate need of some sort of resurgence. Well, the Post-Dispatch agrees with us. Their editorial series this week has been very good, talking about the city. We're going to talk to Kevin McDermott, who is the editor of the editorial page. He joins us at 9:30.
And are you or have you been missing mail and packages? Well, a large pile of undelivered mail was found dumped on a vacant lot in North St. Louis.
And as I mentioned, the Cardinals finish up the series today against Pittsburgh. They are looking for that 4-game sweep. And City SC in the U.S. Open Cup with a win over the Chicago Fire last night.
But it's not to be. So I'm hanging it up.
You quit the post office?
Kind of. I'm still collecting checks. I'm just not delivering mail.
So apparently that's been happening here in St. Louis. So if you've seen the story from this morning from KMOV, first place I saw it, was there is a pile of undelivered mail that was discovered in a vacant lot in North St. Louis. Some pieces dated back as far of January, as far back as January. Yeah. This was near Maffitt and North Taylor Avenue. Postal Service says it is investigating how the mail ended up there. Plans to attempt delivery. I don't know how you can deliver those because some of them have been sitting out there for a long time.
The pile looked messier in real life than when I first read the story and pictured it. Don't you kind of picture fresh mail, like white envelopes?
Yeah.
It is.
It looks like it's been out in the elements.
Yes, it looks like a pile of trash.
So, okay, this isn't funny, but it's kind of funny. You know what I mean? And I'll tell you why it's not funny to me. It's because I actually believe very much in the Postal Service. I like the fact we have the post office. It's a great service. And for the most part, I have very few problems with mail. The only problem I have right now with mail is I'm getting person who used to live where I live. I still get their mail. That's the only issue I have, but that's more with that person than it is with the post office, right? But I drop something in the mailbox. It gets to where it needs to go a few days later. It's great. I love the service. I'm happy that we have it. We are fortunate to have it. But then you have these stupid things like this, where it is funny because my first thought was Newman. That's who I thought of.
I called in sick. I don't work in the rain.
You don't work in the rain. You're a mailman.
That's right. Neither rain nor sleet. It's the first one.
Yeah.
And it's just funny to me, the idea that there is a postal carrier out there who just said, I'm not doing this. Not today, Chief.
Well,
I'm just going to dump my bag right here.
Do you remember the postal worker down in Florida? This was right before COVID. This was pre-COVID, who felt, quote, pressured to deliver the mail, which is understandable because that's your job.
Well, yes.
You're the mailman.
It never stops.
It never stops. But he felt so much pressure to deliver the mail that he rented a storage unit for $49 a month. And just for years,
that's what Newman did.
Dumped the mail into the storage unit.
That's exactly what Newman did.
This guy did it. It's a federal crime.
Yes.
It's bad. It's a federal crime. And it's serious for a lot of reasons because, as you mentioned, this giant pile of what looks like trash included tax documents, gas and electric bills, letters from healthcare providers.
An insurance card?
Insurance cards.
A Blue Cross insurance
But
card?
I mean, who can keep track of what they owe from doctor's appointments? Because everything is split up. And so you get these bills in the mail. And if you don't get the bills, you could be sent to, billing collectors, or at least the debt could add up. And so it's a huge deal. But like you said, I love the post office, and Kathleen Madigan, a local comedian, she makes a great point. When people complain about the price of stamps, which people do, especially older people, which is like pretty funny, because my grandparents love to complain about the price of stamp. She's like, yeah, but it's actually a miracle. She said, can you imagine if I walked up to you and handed you a piece of paper and said, listen,
I'm going to give you 78 cents.
78 cents for you to take this halfway across the world, and you do it. That's a pretty good deal.
It's a great deal.
That's a great deal. It's actually kind of amazing. And so, yeah, this is a huge deal if you're not getting the mail delivered. There was, I want to say, thievery going on in St. Louis County. I think it was the Clayton area for a while with the blue postal boxes. Somehow it was either they're getting them from the boxes or someone at the post office was taking letters. But, you're never supposed to mail cash. And I, at the time, still had to mail a check to my landlord for my apartment. And there were 2 or 3 times that the check didn't get to the landlord, which makes me look terrible because Debbie had to email me and say, Amy, we didn't get your check. And I said, I swear I sent it. I promise I sent the check. And if it happens once, they'll believe you. If it happens 2 or 3 times, they're going to start thinking you're just late paying your rent. But as it turned out, there was some mail issues going on. And it is hugely disrupting. That's why I feel so bad for these people who had their mail dumped.
I mean, it is, but can I now use this as an excuse for anything? Can I just say, oh, yeah, my mail was in that pile?
I do think it does give psychological permission.
Even though I don't live up there?
Yeah. So have you also noticed this about mail? When I get the mail, it is 99.9% complete junk. Mm-hmm. And 0.1%, if I don't respond to this, I'm going to prison. That's how the mail is. It is either total junk or some bill or important notice from the IRS or from the government that you absolutely have to pay attention to. That's how my mail is. It's mostly junk, except for when it's the most important piece of paper in my house.
I'm honestly surprised. It must work. Otherwise, they wouldn't do it. I'm kind of surprised that companies, businesses that rely on you to buy things, to rely on you to be a customer, that they still send this stuff. It must work because I feel like I find out about most deals online now. Yeah. So if I get something in the mail that's like, hey, 15% off this, I usually just toss it.
Yeah.
Because the same thing is online somewhere. Okay. Right? I don't know why it must work. Otherwise they wouldn't do it.
You and I both love AAA, don't we? We love AAA.
Yeah.
We're competitive AAA members. We each want to be a higher level than the other person. We talked to Nick Chabaria of AAA. Love him. Love AAA. I cannot say that enough. At the same time, wow, do they mail a lot of stuff to my house.
Yeah, I guess they do mail a lot.
And it's always, you've been pre-qualified for this, or you can bump up this or that. Like, I feel like I get single-handedly a forest's worth of mail just from AAA. I would say this, if I could make one little change to AAA, it would be, cut down on that. But like you said, does it work? It has to work. They are sending out so much mail. It has to work.
I wish they would send it to that pile, to be honest with you. Marilyn is joining us from Jerseyville on KMOX. Good morning, Marilyn.
Morning.
Hi. What's up?
I used to work for the post office. I worked as a carrier for about 17 years, and then I was a post offices.
We're losing
Can
Marilyn.
you try to call back Marilyn?
Yeah, we'll see if we can get that thought, but her phone is breaking up on us.
I love the.
I bet she's going to say, I used to dump my mail in that pile, too.
No.
You think Marilyn's going to call back and tell us that she had some kind of...
My sister had a small business, and she would mail things, ship things every day, mail things every day, use the post office. And it was so funny because I feel like for 10 years, you ever name people, like we have producer Matt, but, if you have friends with the same name, you kind of have a tag so you know which one you're talking about. I feel like for 10 years, most of our friends were Post Office Brian, Post Office Mike, Post Office Pam. She got to know the postal people really well.
I got a Post Office Drew.
Do you?
I got a buddy. Well, he's my buddy.
Yeah.
He was doing one thing, and now he's a postal carrier.
I'll be like, hey, where are you going? She's like, I have a party Saturday. And we're like, where? Oh, Post Office Brian's having a party.
Let's try again with Marilyn in Jerseyville. What's going on, Marilyn? Let's see if this works.
Yes, I was a carrier for 17 years, and then I was a postal postmaster for about 9 or 10 more years in 3 different offices. I retired in 2012, so I know that my information is probably a little outdated, but for every piece of junk mail, allegedly, we used to call it bulk business mail.
Uh-huh.
We were never supposed to call it junk mail because each piece, I know, it's a bad connotation.
It's
Yes,
anti-mail
we
language.
get it. Yeah, I know why you do it.
For every piece of junk mail that you receive, it generated over 20 pieces of first-class mail.
Wait.
Hard to believe, but it was.
Wait, for every.
Go ahead.
Am I dumb? Well, can you explain that a little bit? Flesh that out?
For every piece of junk mail that you receive, it created because people respond to it.
Okay.
It generated more than 20 pieces of first class. In other words, that person responded to it, then the business sent you mail back, and vice versa. It just kept going.
Yeah, that makes
Oh,
sense.
that's really interesting.
Yes,
So
I know it's hard to believe.
How does this make you
true.
feel, being a former postal employee, that somebody has done this? And did you ever know anybody who did something like this?
Yes, actually, we did. I feel totally disgusted. I would never in a million years have not delivered even one piece of your junk bulk business mail. Never in a million years. And I know there are people out there that do it because at one time we had a person that we were watching. It wasn't a postal carrier. It was a truck driver that transported the mail from Jerseyville on down the line to St. Louis, to the main post office downtown on Market Street. And they had to watch him because there were cards and money that wasn't actually getting to the people. So they watched him from the business across the street, and he was taking the letters, opening them up, and taking the money and the checks out of them.
Well, did he get in trouble? He got in trouble, right? Like serious trouble?
He went to jail.
All right, well,
Yes, it's a federal offense.
That's right. You can't do that. Marilyn, appreciate the phone call. See, I think most people in the post office, not even most, like almost all of the people who work for the post office, they want to get you your mail. They're trying to do a good job. And then you got these jerks who are dumping it in abandoned fields.
You know what, though? To Marilyn's point, and I would love to see the numbers now, because 2012 was not that long ago, but it was a lifetime ago when it comes to social media, apps, businesses using online. I mean, just think about it. We had baseball tickets. I'm just going to throw this out there. I got a TJ Maxx credit card, and they said, okay, thanks for registering your card. You need to now take this step, because if you don't go to paperless, we're going to charge your card $2.99 a month to get my bill. A paper bill is $2.99 a month.
Yeah.
So I would think that number has changed since 2012.
It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Let us know what you think. 314-436-7900. If you're a mailman listening to the show, or a mail lady, just know that we are on your side, but we are watching you. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
This is the story of the one. As a procurement manager for a hospital system, she keeps every facility in her network stocked and ready. That's why she counts on Grainger to be her single source for thousands of products, from disinfectants to lighting, air filters, and more. And with fast, dependable delivery, Grainger helps her keep every facility stocked, safe, and running smoothly. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
One of life's greatest mysteries has finally been solved.
Who let the dogs out? Spruce, spruce, spruce.
It's Spruce, the weed and grass killer that's safe for use around people, pets, and bees when used as directed. Spray the leaves for visible results in just 1 hour and dead weeds in just 1 day. You spray, they play. Spruce, pet friendly, weed deadly. Find wherever weed killers are sold.
Hi, this is Jill Schlesinger, CBS News business analyst, certified financial planner, and the host of the Jill on Money podcast. With the new year upon us, there's no better time to take control of your financial life, and the Jill on Money podcast is here to help. It's your questions that make it possible for me to provide unconventional and, I hope, entertaining insights on your money and, more importantly, on your life. Follow and listen to Jill on Money wherever you get your podcasts.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
In 1991, John and Cindy Morelli started Morelli Tuck Pointing. As of today, they've won just about every award possible for the tuck pointing business. The BBB Torch Award, the Next Door Neighborhood Fave Award, and an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. For homeowners, this is a great time to get a free inspection of your basement, your brick or stone fireplace, your garage interior, your porch, and maybe even your walkway. Indoor tuck pointing can be started now. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. My wife Beth and I have used Morelli Tuck Pointing to work on 2 of our homes now over the last 25 years. We have found the Morelli bids to be fair, their crews are very polite, and they clean up after themselves. But most importantly, their work is beautiful. Family owned and operated since 1991. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
Hi, this is Steve Butts from the Crawford Butts Insurance Agency. In 2026, our agency celebrates a momentous occasion as we celebrate 65 years of service to our clients, a tribute to our founder and my dad, Nor Butts. Our staff is ready to assist you with all your insurance needs. So please call me, Steve Butts, at 314-752-2500 or at crawfordbutts.com. For auto, home, and commercial insurance needs, that's crawfordbutts.com.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
Well, it turns out that you are so interested in the mail. Why wouldn't you be?
You should be interested.
I love the mail. I love actual,
the post office.
Yes, the post office. I don't love the mail I get.
Yeah.
I opt for the electronic billing so that I don't have to deal with an actual letter and whatever.
And so you don't have to pay for a paper bill because some credit cards charge you for paper billing.
Yes, but I am getting packages and I send packages, and I got to tell you, the post office does it as well as anybody, delivering a package. They really do.
They
just as well as Amazon, UPS.
In a country that has some dysfunctional institutions and moments, the post office has been historically knocking it out of the park.
Gary is in Hardin, Illinois, joins us on KMOX. Hello, Gary.
Yeah, I'm a beekeeper, and I've been, we routinely send queen bees in the mail. Well, that was routinely up until about 4 or 5 years ago, because now anything you ship in the mail just bounces around St. Louis. It's a systemic thing that's been going on for quite a while, and it's gotten to where we just use UPS now. We can't use the mail service anymore.
That's because it goes to the main hub and then back out. Is that the problem?
Yeah,
Okay.
It just bounces around. It used to be consistent enough to where that everybody relied on it. You ship it from Georgia up here, and it would be here in 2 days, and no problem at all. It'd go to the local post office. They'd give us a call. We'd just go down and pick it up.
So, Gary, you said that you're a beekeeper. I'm assuming you used to ship bees, or still do.
Yes. You can ship packages if you want, but we mainly use it for queen bees. You can ship a number of queen bees in a little bitty small box.
Can you tell people very briefly how important bees are?
Oh, they're vital. So,
that's right. If we don't have bees, we're in trouble, right?
Yes, bees are in trouble, but
we're in trouble if we don't have bees.
Right. There's a lot of other pollinators that we can rely on, but there are some things that only get pollinated by honeybees. Almonds is one of them. You got an actual shipment of bees out to the West Coast just to pollinate the almond trees.
Well, now our buddy Matt Pajeski, and thank you, Gary,
Thank
for
you
the
so
call.
much, Gary.
We have a nut allergy guy in here, so he probably doesn't like those almonds.
He can have almonds.
Or the bees.
You can have almonds?
Yeah, I can have almonds, actually.
Are you allergic to bees? Bee stings?
No.
Okay. Well,
That's very interesting. They ship the queen bees.
I didn't know they shipped the queen bees. Let's talk to Kelly in Ellsbury, Missouri. Hello, Kelly.
Hi.
What's up?
I just wanted to give a shout out to our postal service workers in our small town of Ellsbury, Missouri. Today, actually, I went to the post office to receive to get back a toy. My son wanted to mail a letter to Santa, and he put it in his little toy mail truck, and we put the mail truck in the mailbox, but I forgot about it. So when we came home, the toy was gone. And so we were worried, and my son had thought that, the toy is on the way to the North Pole, and I got the toy back from the post office this morning, and the postal worker really got a kick out of it. So they're really great.
I see. That's what I'm talking
awesome.
about. That's why we need our postal carriers.
Ellsbury, way up there, like way northeast of like Quiver River, even.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, way up
Okay,
there.
it's way up there.
Yeah.
Well, this is now the U.S. Postal Service helpline and the U.S. Postal Service praise line. So if you have something nice to say about the post office, you can let us know. Go ahead and text the show, too. 314-436-7900. As we mentioned right off the top of the show, Amy and I have been and always do talk about what St. Louis downtown means to the entire region. The Post-Dispatch has been doing a good series this week, an editorial series, releasing an editorial every day of the week. And we're going to talk to the editor of that, Kevin McDermott, when we come back on KMOX. And yes, the Derby is coming up, and you know exactly what I'm talking about. It is an exciting time of year, and it is exciting if you are into the horses. And you can bet the Kentucky Derby on FanDuel. That's the place you bet on all your other favorite sports, too. Right now, all customers get a Derby bet reset, which means you get a racing bonus back if your bet does not win. The app is really easy to use. You do not have to be a horse racing expert to get in on the Derby Day action. You can have a little fun with it. So bet the fastest 2 minutes in sports on FanDuel. Kentucky Derby and Kentucky Oaks are registered trademarks of Churchill Downs Incorporated. FanDuel.com/Missouri to get started. 21 and over and present in Missouri. Verified FD racing account is required. Refund issued as non-withdrawable racing site credit that expires 9 days after receipt. Max refund $10 unless otherwise specified. Restrictions apply. See terms at racing.fanduel.com. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The thing that you need in the morning, when you first wake up.
Total Information AM.
I like to be informed with the news and like to know, like in the mornings, I like to know what's going on.
Debbie Monterey, Megan Lynch, Tom Ackerman.
It's always smart to know what's going on.
Your morning news and information.
The national and local news.
Weather.
Sports.
I like the traffic reports.
Total Information AM.
I listen to it in the mornings. It really gets me going.
Total Information AM. Weekdays 5 to 9 on the voice of St. Louis, KMOX. Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
I'm not going to lie. I think this might be some of the prettiest weather we've had in a long time. Gorgeous 56 degrees, sunshine today, maybe some clouds later on, a high of 66. Perfect. Partly cloudy tonight, maybe some showers, a low of 46. Weather sponsored by McKelvey Homes. The McKelvey Homes spring event is one of the best offers they've had in years. Rates as low as 4.75% and savings up to $124,000 on move-in ready homes. The event ends May 31st. Schedule your tour today at McKelveyHomes.com and move up to McKelvey.
With Fidelity Wealth Management, a dedicated advisor gets to know you and your goals to build a comprehensive plan to help grow and protect your wealth. Backed by a team of specialists, they'll analyze all your accounts, even the ones they don't manage, to keep an eye on taxes and provide proactive portfolio insights that can help you unlock your wealth's full potential. Learn more at fidelity.com/wealth. Investment minimums apply. Fidelity Brokerage Services, LLC. Member NYSE SIPC.
Workdays can be unpredictable, but your workwear shouldn't be. With the Cintas Apparel Plus program, you'll have freshly laundered garments for everyone on your team delivered every week. Cintas has workwear for just about any job imaginable, with high-performance fabrics and an uncompromising fit that stretches and moves with you. Don't leave looking and feeling good to chance. Visit Cintas.com.
Oh, I'm ready!
And get ready for the workday.
Do you owe the IRS $10,000 or more in back taxes? Penalties and interest are piling up every single day. Wage garnishments and bank levies could hit any moment. If you've been avoiding it out of fear, you're not alone. But waiting only shrinks your options and ramps up the stress. The truth is, the IRS settles with taxpayers every day through legitimate programs, and many qualify to reduce what they owe, in some cases by up to 99%. That's why thousands turn to helpwithirsdebt.com. They've guided over 120,000 Americans, resolved more than $2.3 billion in tax debt, and back every case with their ironclad resolution guarantee. If there's no real path forward, you get a full refund, no fine print. They even randomly select one qualifying client each year and pay off their entire IRS balance. Terms apply. Don't let another day pass. Go to helpwithirsdebt.com right now. It's fast, easy, and confidential. Find out what's possible today. Helpwithirsdebt.com. Once again, that's helpwithirsdebt.com.
Get inside your Redbirds and the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
It's Amy Marks, Kors, and Chris Ranji on 104.1 FM KMOX. And all week we have been talking about the series that the St. Louis Post-Dispatch has been publishing, an editorial series about downtown St. Louis, what the issues are, how to correct them, and that series continues today. We are now joined by the editorial page editor of the Post-Dispatch. It is Kevin McDermott with us on KMOX. Kevin, we appreciate your time this morning. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me.
Well, I know we all care about what happens in downtown St. Louis. Amy and I talk about it all the time in the years that we've been doing this show because we know St. Louis and downtown is so important to the region. I'm assuming that's why the Post-Dispatch decided to do this series in the first place. Was there more to it?
Yeah, well, actually, the very first thing was to convince the broader audience around our region that downtown is, in fact, that important. And you're right about that. We appreciate you guys chiming in on that, too. But it's, this is not just any other neighborhood in the city. This is our front stoop. This is what the world sees. This is it's the driver of a lot of the city's budget in terms of tax revenue. And it's St. Louis's identity. And to let that just sort of, crumble away the way that we've been doing the last few years doesn't make any sense for anyone who lives in any other part of the city, whether they understand it or not. This is urgent to the whole city.
And Kevin, as we get into the different editorials that you guys have published so far, I love that you were so specific in the first editorial that you are speaking about a 2-mile square radius with the downtown area. You note that it's the Arch Grounds on the east, that it's Jefferson to the west. You have the northern and southern boundaries. Why did you guys decide to focus specifically on what is properly the downtown versus the city in general, which I think a lot of people use the city and downtown almost interchangeably?
Well, that's part of the problem. People do use downtown interchangeably with lots of other neighborhoods. What we were focused on specifically is what we call the downtown/downtown west corridor, which is technically 2 neighborhoods, but it's what most cities would consider to be their downtown core in terms of office space, entertainment, everything that visitors see when they come into the city is in that corridor. And the reason we chose that is that you can't have a successful city without a successful downtown. There's no such thing as a city that has a dead or untenable downtown and is successful as a city. That's the case we tried to make in that first editorial.
What you said right off the top here about trying to convince people that it is important, and I sometimes get the impression, not from everybody, but there are folks who live in the area who just seem to, they say, well, downtown stinks. I want nothing to do with it. How prevalent do you think that actually is versus the people who are very conscious of the fact that downtown is important to the entire region?
Oh, perception is a huge problem, and the lack of local support for downtown is a huge problem. And a lot of it comes down to what we were just talking about, how we kind of loosely define downtown. Every time you see a story about, a shooting or any other kind of violence, there's this shorthand where it's, this is a downtown. Well, half the time, if you look at these stories, they're not. First of all, it's actually in different neighborhoods. But also, I think we've gotten into this bad habit of just treating downtown like a place where you go to watch a ball game or you go to watch a concert, and you don't think of it as part of your community other than that. And we're hoping that this starts a conversation that will change that, because downtown has a lot. It has a lot going for it. It's got problems, but it has a lot going for it. And I think a lot of people, even our close neighbors in other parts of the city, don't realize that.
We spoke a while ago, maybe over a year ago, with Police Chief Robert Tracy, how perception always lags behind statistics. And I get that. Like if people perceive the city as being violent and dangerous, even when the numbers show that homicides and violent crime is down, it's going to take a while for people to believe that. But is it hard to try to convince people, no, violent crime is down, and then you see big companies that have been downtown for a long time, like Fleischman Hillard or KSDK, moving out of that downtown area?
Yeah, I mean, that hurts a lot. And one of the pieces of the series that we did, I think this one ran, I believe, yesterday, about how office work generally has fled downtown. It's not just in St. Louis. A lot of this was the pandemic. A lot of this was the fact that more and more companies are turning to remote workers. That's a universal problem. That's not just downtown St. Louis, but it really hit downtown St. Louis because, frankly, we don't have enough people living downtown to pick up the slack from these office workers who aren't working there anymore. And I think you're right. Some of the companies left because of the perception of crime, because of the perception that it's unsafe, even though that's statistically that's not really valid. But also there's a sense that there just isn't that much going on downtown, and it's kind of the other side of the coin. It's not that there's too much stuff, there's too much activity. It's that there's not enough. That people who want to work and live in a vibrant downtown community are looking around them and seeing empty streets and empty storefronts and thinking, well, okay, this isn't it. And that's one of the things that has to be addressed.
Post-Dispatch editor Kevin McDermott with us on KMOX. And from the people that the editorial board has spoken to in trying to get to the bottom of what to do about St. Louis downtown, there are differing opinions. Is it possible, or do you feel like there is some sort of consensus out there about how to move forward?
Yeah, the lack of consensus is a big problem. What we discovered very quickly was that people who care about downtown, they really care passionately. And we talked to developers, we talked to city officials, we talked to cops, we talked to bartenders, people who just live downtown, and all these various organizations. There's tons of them that are dedicated to trying to revive downtown. One thing we discovered, despite all this enthusiasm, they're not pulling in the same direction. There's really no overarching coordination between these folks, and that could be a big part of solving the problem because there's a lot of energy there. There's a lot of resources there. They're just not being utilized in a way that is coordinated at all. And that's one of the things we need.
Yeah, and we need those people downtown. I know in one of your editorial pieces you note that the homeless problem really stands out because you see the homeless. So you don't have bustling streets where people are going to work and to and fro. And I've always said this, that every city has crime and homeless. But it is like, where's Waldo? There's a bunch of people on the beach, and Waldo is the crime and the homelessness. Unfortunately, in St. Louis, Waldo is the only guy on the beach, and so that's all you see.
That's a big deal. And the chief talked to us about this, and a few others did. People might be surprised to hear this. St. Louis's unhoused situation, this homeless problem, is not significantly worse than any other major city. It really isn't. All cities have this problem. Ours looks worse for literally what you just said, because that's all you see in certain parts of downtown, and that's one big argument for increasing residency, increasing the number of people who actually live here.
In getting this consensus that we're talking about to solve these issues, like homelessness, like vacancies, because there are a lot of storefronts in downtown that are just empty, and it doesn't seem like there's a whole lot of movement in putting businesses in those storefronts or getting people to move downtown. What do you think would be the thing to or needs to happen to try and get some sort of consensus? Is this all on the city leadership? Is it business leadership? What has to happen?
Yeah, first of all, it's not just the city. The city, the city has to do its part, and one of the pieces we're doing, actually the one that ran today, is about infrastructure. That's a big thing that the city can do is to kind of pick up the slack that we've had regarding that. However, this kind of revival has to be a public/private coordination. I mean, it has to involve the business community. It has to involve the developers, and it has to involve, frankly, state politics. There's a measure pending right now in the Missouri legislature that would provide $50 million worth of tax incentives for projects that are converting former office space into residential space. This is huge. This is a very important measure, and we've talked about it a few times in this series. Stuff like that is creating this atmosphere where entrepreneurs can look around and go, okay, even if this area's got some problems, here's some tax incentives. Here I see the city is working on the roads and they're doing a better job than they were doing. Here's these local community groups that are all pulling in the same direction on how to reform and revive this area. That's the sort of thing that can break this logjam. And part of the logjam is you have entrepreneurs looking downtown and thinking, wow, this is too risky. I'm not going to put my money here. That's one of the things we have to change.
What is the significance of restoring the sidewalks and the roads downtown? Because that is your editorial piece, your most recent one. And I don't know, maybe someone's listening saying, well, the sidewalks, let's fix the crime. Let's fix homelessness first. What is the significance of that?
Hey, crime and homelessness and perceptions of crime and residency and office, all that stuff is important. But if you're walking down the street and you're looking around and the sidewalks look terrible and the streets look terrible and there's potholes everywhere and everything's dirty and it looks like it hasn't been kept up. That's a surface level, if you excuse the pun, that's a surface level issue. That's something you see right in front of you. And all the statistics you can throw at people about how crime is down and how important, this area is to the economy. And you look at, the conventions we get, we actually are a pretty vibrant convention city. But then you're walking down this stained, awful-looking street with, big metal plates bolted over it in the areas where there were potholes. That makes an impression. Driving down Tucker and looking up at that stupid, awful, horrible graffiti-covered garage right there at I think it's a Locust. That's awful. I mean, you look at that and you go, how can a city let that stand there year after year and not do something? It creates an impression about the entire place. And so, yeah, that's almost, it's like sweep the dust off your front stoop. Do that first.
Yeah, it does look like either nobody cares or the city's not worth it. That's not a good message.
How much do you think politics is a problem for St. Louis and in particular the downtown area?
Well, we're very neighborhoody, if I could make up a word. There's something like 80 neighborhoods in St. Louis. They have very distinct personalities, most of them, and that's a good thing. You want a city that has neighborhoods, but our neighborhoods are often at odds with each other. And I'll give you an example. 2 years ago, and we referenced this somewhere in the series. I don't remember where. There's a lot of it. A couple of years ago, the Greater St. Louis Inc., which is kind of the prime, nonprofit business organization that's trying to help the city. They came up with a plan. You got $250 million in Rams money. You got $250 million in Rams money sitting there. Use $100 million of that. $100 million. Put it toward specifically downtown, and we will more than match it. The business community, we will more than match it. And this was on the table, and it just sort of collapsed. And the reason it collapsed is because there were some people in the Board of Aldermen, and there were some people in different neighborhoods to say, hey, why should downtown get $100 million? Well, part of the deal was we'll also give something similar to the North Side, but you really had these people, these groups and organizations in different neighborhoods pulling against each other. And, our whole premise for this series is downtown is not just another one of those 80 neighborhoods. This is important to everyone that downtown get fixed. That's not to say that, we have a huge problem on the North Side, especially since the tornado. There's other needs in the city. Yes, we recognize that. But this is literally, it's a cliche, but it's the front stoop. And if this looks awful, nothing else is going to matter.
So now that we are, and you will finish up the series tomorrow here, what can we take away that's positive from this that maybe we can, get behind and feel like some sort of progress can be made here?
Yeah, actually, there's going to be one piece tomorrow that deals with tourism, and then there's going to be a final piece on Sunday. The piece on Sunday is where we're making, specific recommendations, and I'm not going to lay all that out right here because we want people to read. But there are specific, recommendations, a bunch of them that we're going to be making on Sunday. But as we've already said up to this point, there's some things that are key. Some of it's obvious. I mean, we need more police presence, and it needs to be more obvious downtown. There needs to be enforcement of even minor ordinances. I mean, when you just figure you let people speed around, you let people screech and play games in the streets and aggressive panhandling and everything, it sends a message that, granted, we have more serious crimes than this to worry about in St. Louis, but that sends a message. So we need that. We're really pressing the legislature to pass what is, I think, currently under House Bill 3231, and this is the office space to residency conversion bill, urgent for our area. But also we're appealing to St. Louisans, keep an open mind about your own downtown core. We saw a study that one of these groups commissioned that was really alarming, and what it found was that the worst bad-mouthing of downtown St. Louis comes from St. Louisans. It's not coming from other cities. It's coming from people who live around us who, we would argue are dealing, using incorrect information and data and perceptions that aren't really true. And, that we're hoping people will at least take another look at the downtown core because it's important for everybody.
Well, Kevin, you have a couple of friends in this mission here with the two of us because we're on board with it too. We talk about it all the time. So we appreciate this series. It's been very, very good. Looking forward to tomorrow and Sunday. Thank you for talking with us about it today.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Kevin McDermott, St. Louis Post-Dispatch editorial page editor with us here on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Before a nation, there was an idea. Before freedom, there was a sacrifice. This year, KMOX marks America's 250th birthday. Step into history with John Hancock and Michael Kelly, Sunday mornings at 8, as they pull you into the moment where everything was on the line. This is the sound of a nation being born. Celebrate America, 250 years strong, with Hancock and Kelly, Sunday mornings at 8, only on KMOX.
My brother-in-law died suddenly, and now my sister and her kids have to sell their home. That's why I told my husband we could not put off getting life insurance any longer. An agent offered us a 10-year, $500,000 policy for nearly $50 a month. Then we called SelectQuote. SelectQuote found us identical coverage for only $19 a month, a savings of $369 a year.
Whether you need a $500,000 policy or a $5 million policy, SelectQuote could save you more than 50% on term life insurance.
For your free quote, call SelectQuote at 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080. Or go to SelectQuote.com. 1-800-743-8080. That's 1-800-743-8080.
SelectQuote. We shop. You save. Full details on example policies at selectquote.com/commercials.
Get ready to laugh out loud, St. Louis. The outrageous Broadway hit Spam-A-Lot is riding into the fabulous Fox Theater May 5th through the 17th. From the twisted minds of Monty Python, this Tony Award-winning musical brings you killer rabbits, dancing knights, and non-stop hilarity. It's the legend of King Arthur like you've never seen it before. More information can be found at KMOX.com/events.
Renewal by Andersen is the #1 window and door brand for customer service. Schedule your free inspection today. Call 877-WINDOWS. That's 877-WINDOWS. Or head to rbastl.com.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance tech at a university, he knows ordering from multiple suppliers takes time away from keeping their arena up and running. That's why he counts on Grainger to get everything he needs, from lighting and HVAC parts to plumbing supplies, all in one place. And with fast, dependable delivery, he's stocked and ready for the next tip-off. Call 1-800-GRAINGER, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
When it comes to planning your retirement, there's a lot to think about. Portfolio management, tax planning, and retirement income just to get started. Steve All and his team at the All Financial Group focus on those things and more. Their goal is to help you achieve your goals. Call 636-230-8824 or online, yourmoneymattersstl.com.
Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, IBW, a registered investment advisor. Insurance and annuities offered through Steve All, NPN number 153-07419.
Hey guys, Glover here for my friends at Cantor Injury Law. So as you know, I'm a lawyer, haven't practiced in a long time, but I did plaintiff's work and defense work, so I have a pretty good understanding of it. I have a pretty good idea of who's who in the firmament of plaintiffs' attorneys. And for my money, Mark Cantor is the guy. He's a great attorney. He is a great practitioner. He's put together a great team. He was born and raised here. He lives here. He works here. He wins here. Call 314-628-ALL-9s or CantorInjuryLaw.com. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based on advertisement.
Experience an evening of love, beauty, and lush soundscapes as the St. Louis Symphony Orchestra performs Ravel's Daphnis and Chloe. 3 extraordinary pieces come to life, from Ravel's masterpiece to the world premiere of Nathalie Joachim's Family to Kevin Putz's evocative Virelai. Nearly 300 musicians, May 8th through 10th at Powell Hall at the Jack C. Taylor Music Center. Tickets at slso.org.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
So this is really something, Ronj. If you played the Powerball lottery, you might want to check your ticket. It just might have been yesterday the luckiest day in Powerball history. So there were 2 jackpot winners. They'll split the $143 million pot. So they're going to split that pot. But the thing is, if you get all 5 like white balls right, if you get all of those right, you win $1 million. There were 91 people who got all the numbers right, meaning 91 new millionaires overnight. And not only that, it was from across 20 different states. They all had 5 white ball numbers correct, but some of them had the more expensive power play option, which doubles the price. So they won $2 million. That's wild.
That's a lot of people winning a lot of money.
Millionaires, yeah.
Well, congratulations to all 90 of you. 91?
I believe so.
I love a good when horses or cows get loose.
Okay, jeez, Louise.
I don't know what you call it. There's got to be a word for it. An escape? I mean, I know it's an escape, but there's got to be a horse or cow term for it. Did you see that yesterday a cow got loose on the University of Illinois campus? It happened around 3:30 in the afternoon. It was being loaded onto a trailer at the College of Veterinary Medicine's large animal clinic.
Oh, no.
And it got loose. So they were able to corral it after it, and I've seen video of it. It's running about, and it is alarming drivers. It's going up to cars and to like golf carts, I guess, campus golf carts that are going through, and people are turning around and getting away from it. Because it looks like...
is it a bull or like a dairy cow?
It looks... I don't know. It might be a bull.
What?
It
might be a bull.
I mean, I don't know. It's got horns.
Well, dairy cows have those little stubs, but they're not horns.
Well,
don't dairy cows have little stubs?
I don't know, but they were able to corral the cow. But here's the problem for me. I have said this before. If a cow is in captivity or a horse and it gets loose, I think we should just let the animal go.
Yeah, because it earned it.
Yes.
It was
cows,
resourceful,
pigs,
clever.
Bulls. Remember Clem, the bull who got loose?
Though, a lot of them, like my mom, like our dog Francis, if he got loose, it would not be in his best interest to let him go because that guy cannot survive on his own.
Well, neither could this cow, probably.
That's what I mean. That's why you can't
but
let him.
There is all kinds of grass and whatnot in Champaign-Urbana. It'd have been okay.
What's so interesting, I really regret not making Roger Brand bingo because, man, during COVID, there were all sorts of things. There were cows on the highway.
Like horses.
There was a fist fight on the exit ramp.
Oh yeah.
Roger Brand reported a fist fight on the exit ramp. How could you not think that's a great that's got to be the center square in Roger Brand bingo? Anyway,
I've never seen a fist fight on the highway.
I know, that's what I'm talking about. I couldn't believe it when he said it. I mean, I missed my chance.
Free the cow. Just let the cow roam. Hey, when we come back, don't forget, we are done here fairly soon because Cardinals pregame is at 10:40 this morning. They are looking for a sweep of the Pirates in Pittsburgh. We're going to talk to our sports fella, Matt Pauley, next.
Summer is on the way, or should I say the heat in St. Louis, it's on its way. Be here before we even know it. If you haven't had your air conditioners checked and set up and ready to go for this cooling season, or if you were told you might need a new one, or you just think this is the time of the year. This year is the time to just go ahead and replace it. Prices are down. 0% financing is available. It's still the best time to call me. Don't put it off. One easy number in Missouri and Illinois. It is 314-293-2600. Again, that's 314-293-2600 in Missouri and Illinois, or on the internet, bartinman.com. That is Bart with a B, Inman with an I.com. God bless.
Want to hear a shocking statistic? Medical malpractice is the 3rd leading cause of death in America. Don't believe it? Google it. And that doesn't count serious injuries like birth injuries to perfectly healthy children. All doctors wear white jackets, but it doesn't make them all the same. Most medical errors are committed by the same quacks over and over again. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. Many hospitals looking for more profits are forcing doctors and their groups to be employees of the hospital or be forced out of their system. It's a troubling trend in medicine. People make mistakes, but medical mistakes are huge and often forever. If you believe your child suffered a birth injury or a misdiagnosis or mistake led to a loved one's death or injury, let our team of medical malpractice lawyers examine your case for free. No recovery, no fee. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements. Past results afford no guarantee of future results. Every case is different and must be judged on its own merits.
My dad passed away unexpectedly. Of course, it was awful in every way, but we are very grateful that he had life insurance. So even after he was gone, he was still able to provide for us. And that's why I have life insurance for my family. Ethos.com. They make it fast and easy to get covered. It's 100% online. You get a quote in seconds, and you can apply in minutes. You get covered the same day.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/protect. That's ethos.com/protect. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required. Rates may vary.
Staples presents Celebrations Made Easy.
I was throwing a party for the twins and had custom invites and a banner printed at Staples. And that's when I saw Party City is now at Staples.
Party City? No way!
Yep. So now Staples has all your printing needs and everything you need for a party.
Everything times 2.
Yeah, and now at Staples, save 40% on custom cards, photo gifts, wrapping paper, banners, and more.
Big news! Party City is now at Staples.
That was easy.
Shop Staples in-store, online, or on the app. In 613, exclusions apply.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
It is 10 o'clock, and right now we've got sunshine, 56 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Gas prices skyrocketing, about 30 cents in 1 week to an average of $4.30 a gallon around the country. Oil prices are now around $116 a barrel, which could be bad news for inflation. President Trump insists the sacrifice is worth it, but the economic pressure is growing. Here's CBS business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
All the countries that were saying, oh, we can get through this, we've got stockpiles, they're going through the stockpiles they had. Now they're coming to the market, pushing up the price of oil. Oil rises, about 2/3 of a gallon of gas is based on the price of oil, and boom, now we are $1.32 higher than we were before the war.
This man drives for a living and says the prices are eating into his profits.
I do Uber Eats, so I deliver food. I also do DoorDash. So it definitely sucks because I'm not making as much money doing this anymore because most of the money goes to gas.
2 students brought guns to St. Louis area schools this week. No one was harmed and no threat of a shooting at either incident. The first was a Hillsborough High School student taken into custody yesterday, was carrying an unloaded handgun and ammunition. School officials say there was no indication the student intended to harm anyone. And the other student was an elementary school student who brought an unloaded gun to New Athens Elementary. The Post-Dispatch reports the child's mother, 35-year-old Brianna Robison, was charged with 3 misdemeanors the next day. Shocking new information about the murder case against singer David, who's accused of killing a 14-year-old girl, Celeste Rivas Hernandez, to cover up his abuse of her.
Prosecutors allege David, born David Anthony Burke, met Celeste when she was 11 and began sexually abusing her when she was 13. They claim they have explicit photos of the two documenting their relationship. According to the filing, prosecutors believe Celeste was upset about his relationship with other women, threatened to disclose their relationship to end his career and destroy his life.
Prediction markets say they're different from sports books, but gambling addicts say it's all the same. 2 gambling addicts speaking to the Associated Press say they had relapses on prediction markets after they took legal action to protect themselves from the allure of sports betting. Clinicians and addicts say when it comes to sports betting and prediction markets, the end result is virtually the same. From the KMOX business desk, Bed Bath & Beyond is back. The Container Store, which was recently purchased out of bankruptcy, has launched a store-changing event to integrate Bed Bath & Beyond into its 98 locations, including the one in Brentwood. There were once 6 Bed Bath & Beyond locations in the St. Louis area until the store's 2023 bankruptcy filing when they all closed. The Container Store is in the process of liquidating about 1/3 of its inventory in order to make space.
Sunshine will give way to increasing clouds this afternoon with a high of 68. It'll be mostly cloudy for a while tonight with a couple of showers, followed by some late-night clearing, low 44. Tomorrow, times of sun and clouds, but quite cool for early May, the high only near 60. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM, KMOX.
It is sunny and 56 degrees. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Honey, I found the one.
Oh, I thought I was the one.
Oh, you are, but this one's certified, background check, shows up on time, and can install all the ceiling fans.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing. Trusted pros who do it right.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by University of Maryland Global Campus.
Homeowners are still sitting on COVID-era low mortgage rates. Brian Wickert of AccuDebt Mortgage in suburban Milwaukee says that trend won't change anytime soon.
My honest opinion is no.
He says home buyers frustrated by high prices and low inventory will have to wait for life to happen.
I got 2 more kids now. I got to sell. It's life events, not interest rates, that drive that kind of decision to list your home.
I'm Rob Hart.
In today's fast-moving job market, staying ahead means keeping your skills sharp. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we help keep your capabilities cutting edge with our skills-based education programs designed to move your career forward. Explore more than 135 degrees and certificates in business, cybersecurity, and more. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef. You know the rush when you reach that goal, when something you've worked for pays off. That's success. At University of Maryland Global Campus, we believe you should never stop chasing it. That's why we offer a skills-based education that helps move your career forward. Learn how to apply emerging technologies like AI and data science. Build your leadership and critical thinking skills. Apply now and save with no application fee. Classes start May 13th. Learn more at umgc.edu. Certified to operate in Virginia by Chef.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
The Pirates down to their last out. Tying run at first, winning run at the plate, a swing and a high fly ball. That's hit to deep left field. Church back at the wall. He jumps. He makes the catch for a Redbird winner. Up against the wall. Nathan Church was able to keep that in the park. And the Cardinals have won 3 in a row in Pittsburgh, winning tonight 5-4.
Go Paulie! Paulie's a great name. Go Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything? Me, Paulie! I was responsible!
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Cardinals won last night. They've taken the first 3 of this 4-gamer in Pittsburgh at PNC Park. The finale and the attempt to sweep will start today at 11:35 with the first pitch. So we've got the pregame show coming up in 34 minutes right here on 104.1 FM KMOX and the Odyssey app. We're joined by Matt Pauley, who is our resident sports fella. And Matt, I got to tell you, I did not like the shape of that one off the bat.
No, and I saw so if Church does not, if he's not there in that moment, that's a home run. And then outside of that, that would have been a home run I read last night in 27 of 30 ballparks across Major League Baseball. So what a cool ending for those final 3 innings, the drama that went along with it. You wish Cardinals relief pitching would have done a little bit more, but for them to have that 5-1 lead going into the bottom of the 7th and a couple runs score and then another run comes across in the 8th and you're just trying to survive, and they find a way to win another 1-run game.
That's the phrase I was going to use because I did feel like, especially last year, and we've all seen it where the Cardinals would find a way to lose. The Blues really this year would find a way to lose, but they find a way to lose. This team, I feel like, is finding ways to win, and they're just very different ways game to game. Like you never quite know what you're going to see or how they're going to pull it off, but it's been a lot of fun.
Yeah, that's a really good observation, Amy, because every game is very different, and it's not like there's this DNA of this team that you know what the what the pathway is for them to get most of their wins. I think if we're talking about DNA, it's just that they do find ways. Now, I said this last night on the post-game show. The fact that they have such a good record in one-run games and such a good record in extra inning games, that really scares me because there's a lot of randomness that goes along with that, and generally most teams are around 500 in one-run games and in extra inning games, and they are anything but that right now. So it's going to regress a little bit. You hope it does not regress too terribly much, and that there is something about this team that when it's close and late, they figure out ways to win those games.
And usually teams are not way better on the road than they are at home, and so far the Cardinals are 10-5 when they are away from Busch Stadium, but they're a game under 500 when they are at home. They'll come back home on Friday. This team, and you touched on the bullpen issues, and I'm toggling between feeling like, man, it'd sure be nice to feel comfortable about the 7th and 8th inning with these games, but also, not getting too upset because of what this season is for the Cardinals. If you know what I mean, it's not like it's hard not to get upset in the moment or to get into it or invested in the moment, but also take a step back and realize, okay, well, it's not supposed to be a great year anyway. This is supposed to be a growth year.
Yeah, I get what you're saying, and I'm not trying to completely dismiss it. But at the same time, when we came into the season, we thought one of the areas of strength for this team was going to be the bullpen. That was going to be one thing that you could rely on. And unfortunately, up until this point, it has not been something you can rely on. So if they were losing games because they're not scoring runs, I think everything you just said is right on, and you just say, well, this is the kind of season it's going to be. But there's moments in these games that it's the bullpen that's letting down, and I think that's the frustrating thing because we thought the bullpen was going to be pretty darn good.
Yeah, and they haven't been so far, with a couple of exceptions, but I think you're always going to find a reliever or two, even in bad bullpens that are pretty good. So the way they're playing right now, and you've got this record 4 games over 500. We talked about the division, how every team in the division is over 500, and it is the only team in baseball where every single team in the division is over 500. So being a little over a month through the season, do you expect that when we get to the end of the year, this will end up being the best division in baseball or the closest division in baseball, maybe?
Maybe the closest division. The only team that on paper that's really better than the other teams, I think, is the Cubs, and I hate saying it, but on paper they're a good team. They've played better recently. They've won 7 of their last 10, but they've dealt with some injury issues. They've got some pitching issues, so there's no guarantee that they are going to be able to put it all together. But so let's take the Cubs out of the equation for a second because I'm not real sure what they're going to be at the end of the year. If you remove the Cubs, and maybe the Cubs are going to be part of this, when you look at the Cardinals, Reds, Brewers, Pirates, I don't think there's a whole lot of difference between any of those teams and the intrinsic things about being able to win games late and win close games and things like that. The teams that do that stuff the best are and probably the teams that are a little bit lucky are going to be the teams that are near the top of the division.
So J.J. Weatherholt has had a really nice season, and he's, started to even improve quite a bit at the plate. He went 2 for 5, drove in a run in the game last night. And we have talked so much about his attitude, his personality, the kind of maturity he seems to have as a young player. And I asked this question of Rooney yesterday. How often have you seen a player with this little major league experience with the sort of maturity he has?
Doesn't happen very often. It really doesn't. I talked with his former college coach the other day from West Virginia, and he was just going on about how he doesn't judge people on how hard they hit the ball. He judges them on who they are as people, and J.J. Weatherholt's as good of a person as he's ever been around. I thought it was cool the other night, the first night when they played in Pittsburgh, I guess on Monday, after the game, he's in the dugout taking selfies with PNC Park in the background because that's the area that he grew up in. And so he's not being too cool for school. He gets it. He understands the coolness. He's always fit in the clubhouse. Like there's even during spring training, this was somebody who had a presence and did not look like he was just, meekly trying to exist in there. He fits, and it's all about his makeup. Now, it helps that we all knew that he was going to be a pretty good ball player, and he's had a really nice start to his career as well. But it really good guy who plays hard, guy who cares, and guy who fits in well with this team.
What do you make of Jordan Walker lately?
Yeah, I think this is the adjustment to the adjustment, right? Like we always knew that his hot start was not going to continue. He almost hit a home run yesterday. The ball was, caught with the outfielder basically at the back against the wall. He's got 5 hits in his last 5 games. So he's not doing what he was doing earlier, but at the same time, it's not like he's going 0 for 4 every night with 2 strikeouts. Now, the strikeouts are piling up a little bit. He's got 5 strikeouts over his last 3 games. I'm not trying to bury the lead on this, but I don't think we can make any type of wide-ranging statements about where Walker goes from here. Is there a possibility that this is just kind of a lull and that he comes back out of it and he does adjust to the adjustment? Yeah, that could happen. Could it be something where the league has figured him out a little bit and they've adjusted to what he was doing this year? And as we've seen previously in Walker's career, he's had a hard time making those adjustments, and all of a sudden this is just kind of what it looks like moving forward. Yeah, that's a possibility too. Like I'm not trying to dismiss that idea. So I don't have an answer for you except to say that I think this was always, some version of this was always going to happen, and all we can do right now is sit back and watch and see what the reaction is to it and if he's able to get back out of it.
Yeah, I'd like to see what happens here because, if you look at his day-to-day, he's only got a couple of hitless games in the last couple of weeks, but he is not homered. He had that stretch of games where it was, 7 of 9 or 7 of 10 games where he had homered, and he has not hit one in 13. So I know you said that, he almost had the one last night, so that's close, but it still is not a home run, right? So I'm kind of wondering if the power deficit we're seeing now, if there's something to that, or if this is just a stretch of a couple of weeks and he'll snap out of it.
Yeah, I don't know. 8 straight games without even an extra base hit. His last extra base hit was a double in the Houston series. So it's real. It's definitely real during that period. We've seen his slugging percentage drop from, the 700s going into that Houston series to what is it right now? His slug is now 532.
532, yeah.
So that's not bad, but it's certainly not what it was earlier. So I know they're working on it. I know they are, and this is what this season is about, right? Like this is he figured something out. The league figured something out. Now can he go figure something out? And we can talk about wins and losses, and we can talk about everything else. But really, when you think about this season, being able to massage Jordan Walker through a situation like this, I think is a big part of what they're trying to do this year.
This could be just, it's a quick follow-up for both of you. Can you give an example of a player who had a very wishy-washy, unstable start like Jordan Walker after high expectations and then figured it out and became a very consistent everyday player?
Yeah, it happened. You're putting me on the spot. He's super young, so there's definitely been cases where guys are late bloomers in baseball. I'm having a hard time just thinking one off the top of my head.
It does happen.
But yeah.
But it's not unusual. It's not impossible for it to happen. Because you know how sometimes after a while it feels like,
what happens a lot of times is they end up going somewhere else. These players do, and they kind of, and maybe it's the old cliche change of scenery thing. Maybe it's just they needed to get away from an environment, or it could be a different philosophy. Who knows? It does happen though.
He's also reminding me a little bit. Do you remember, and I was there, so this is why I remember it so much, but do you remember in 2017 when Eric Thames got off to that crazy start for the Milwaukee Brewers and had just a ton of home runs? He had 11 home runs in the month of April, and he finished that year I guess he did get to 30, but he really cooled down after that. So, I mean, there's instances of all these type of things happening, and everybody's different, and I think we do need to continue to just remember that Jordan Walker is young, and people judge him based off his Major League service time. The Cardinals rushed him a little bit, and basically he's the same age as J.J. Weatherholt, and we would never be having these conversations yet about Weatherholt.
3 or 4 months older.
Yeah.
But J.J. Weatherholt just now got into the major leagues.
Right.
And so since Jordan Walker was up so early and so young, could that ultimately have been a detriment to his development?
It could. I think it was. I think his development slowed down. Now, that doesn't happen to everybody who's rushed to the big leagues. Sometimes the development just continues on at a perfectly fine clip when you get to the big leagues. It didn't with Walker. I think some of that has to do with the way they handled him in the minor leagues. It felt like there were these underlying issues with his swing that you did not see the issues with them in the minor leagues because it's the minor leagues. So he was fine, but those underlying issues were not there, and it feels like the Cardinals, when bringing Walker up, did not address those things in the minor leagues. And it's weird to address something when you're putting up huge numbers. It's odd to address something, but that's what the minor leagues are for. So I think the problem really started at that point.
Hunter Dobbins, Paul Skeens. This is an exciting pitching matchup today. We know Skeens has done very well against the Cardinals in terms of, they've beaten the Pirates on days that he's pitched, but he has still done very well against them. So this will be fun, and I know everybody's looking forward to seeing Dobbins pitch.
Looking forward to seeing Dobbins. Skeens has never beat the Cardinals, so he's pitched well, like you said. He's also pitched poorly at times, but yeah, it's going to be fun.
See you, buddy.
All right.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
Tom Ackerman's going to have the pregame show today. Matt Pauly will have the postgame show. Then he's got Redbird Rush Hour at 5. And then Sports Open Line happens at 6 o'clock as well on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Hi, St. Louis. This is Ben Barnett, board-certified master arborist and owner of Timberline Professional Tree Care. The weather's warming up, flowers are blooming, and it's time to get back outside and start thinking about your trees. When you reach for your phone to call a tree contractor, we hope you'll give Timberline the opportunity to earn your business. Timberline is locally owned and operated and fully dedicated to delivering the best overall customer experience while providing the highest quality care for your trees. Every one of our crews includes at least one ISA-certified arborist on site, not just in the office, but right there at your home, so you can be confident the work is done safely, correctly, and always with your tree's best interests in mind. From planting and fertilization to pruning and removal, we're committed to excellence in everything trees. So when it's time to make that call Timberline Professional Tree Care at 636-479-7475 or visit us online at stltreecare.com.
Is reviewing life insurance on your to-do list? Now's the perfect time to add it. A friend recently told me that securing life insurance sooner rather than later can help you lock in lower rates for years to come. So I bumped this up on my list and got it done. I called SelectQuote and couldn't believe how easy and affordable life insurance is. I'm 40 and got a $500,000 policy for $16 a month. My husband's also 40 and his $500,000 policy was only $18 a month. Plus, with SelectQuote's same-day coverage, there was no medical exam required, and we were covered by the time we hung up. Knowing I have this checked off my list feels amazing, but the peace of mind knowing my family is protected feels even better.
Call SelectQuote at 1-800-329-1010. That's 1-800-329-1010. Or go to SelectQuote.com to get your free quote today. That's 1-800-329-1010. details on example rate at selectquote.com.
How was your break?
It was great until I stopped for gas. Prices have gone up almost $1 with no end in sight. I might have to start watching how much I drive.
That's exactly why I use Upside. I never pay full price for gas with the free Upside app.
Upside?
Yes, Upside. It's the free app that gives you cash back just for buying the gas you're already buying. So, even with the rising gas prices, I'll never have to limit how much I drive.
Does that actually add up to anything?
Just last year, I made over $200 with the Upside app.
Wow, that's serious extra cash. I'm downloading the free Upside app right now.
Download the free Upside app to earn cash back on the gas you're already buying. Use promo code WAGON for an extra 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank account, or an e-gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code WAGON for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first fill-up. That's WAGON.
Offers vary by user and location. Go to upside.com for terms and conditions.
Is your financial advisor working more for your retirement or for his? Find out the real story behind the financial industry with Greg Ayler, Saturdays at 1 on Fire, Your Financial Advisor.
Don't miss the Route 66 Centennial Festival at the Missouri History Museum, April 30th through May 3rd. Bring back memories of the Mother Road's stunning natural scenery and roadside attractions, and explore its complex history and impacts on communities across the region. Featuring a concert by Sweetie and the Toothaches, a classic car show, neon display, food trucks, lectures, kids crafts, and more. All activities are free. Schedule at mohistory.org/festival.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Oh, let's see. We are less than 16 minutes away from Cardinals pregame. That's right. It's a 10:40 pregame show. Our guy, Tom Ackerman, will have that for us, and that leads us to an 11:35 first pitch. Looking forward to it. From Pittsburgh, the Cardinals are trying to sweep the series before they come back home to face the Dodgers tomorrow. Yeah, baby. The Dodgers are in town. Shohei Ohtani will be in town. He is not pitching. He's not scheduled to start this weekend. So we're going to miss out on that, but, you know, you'll get to see Ohtani. I believe the Marlins just swept them, too. So that's not good. Anyway, Dodgers are going to be in town this weekend, and we talked about this yesterday. There are pretty reasonable tickets that are available, at least for tomorrow night's game. Still plenty of $25 seats that were available right there on the Cardinals website. And, of course, there's secondary market, and you can always try to find something better, right, if you want to. But hope to see you at the ballpark this weekend. So, again, 10:40 pregame show and an 11:35 a.m. first pitch today from Pittsburgh. We talked about this drone thing in St. Charles. And this was a couple of days ago. We spoke to the police chief there about the drone program that they are trying to implement. And it has been okayed by St. Charles County. And what these drones are supposed to do is there are going to be a handful of them. They'll be on buildings around St. Charles. And if there is some sort of emergency or a crime in progress, they can be deployed to give assistance to officers on the ground. And Amy, they have decided to go ahead and go through with that. So, I mean, I don't have a problem with it. If it helps them, that's great. I guess I don't want to get to a point where there's constantly drones just flying around checking on us. Like, I don't want that.
Yeah. And we did clarify that it is up to the officer's discretion when to ask for a drone. And so could it be, for a pursuit? Yes, absolutely. There's no set parameters, which, again, in some ways, like you said, I could list all the benefits of how helpful it is for police officers to have drones, how it can help them from being in dangerous situations, how it can help them without a high-speed chase to know where a certain suspect is going in a pursuit. But like anything, when it comes to surveillance, you could also list ways in which it could be abused, or it could give you, for lack of a better term, the ick factor. in the same way, okay, not in the same way. This is very, very different. But anytime it comes to surveillance, I do think there's an ick factor, just like with Madison Square Gardens.
Where they were following everybody not everybody. They were picking certain people to follow.
Yeah, and it's a private, and this is, again, I'm switching topics here to Madison Square Gardens, but it's a private venue, and it is under Jim Dolan's right to surveil who's going in and out. But again, it's just, okay, how is this going to be used? I think in this case, we heard more positive stories for how the drones would be used in St. Charles County.
As long as they stick to that, that's great. We did ask the question about helping ICE enforcement, and that's not really the intent of the drones, according to them. So, I think what we were told by the police chief is that if there is a crime in progress and that it just so happens that it is somebody of a legal status, then that's what happens. But they won't be seeking out illegal status folks with the drones. So in case you were wondering about that. Yep, we're just minutes away from the Cardinals pregame show, a little less than 7 minutes away from that. In fact, we will, or at least 7 minutes for us, right? Yeah, 7 minutes for us. And then the pregame show right after that on 104.1 FM, KMOX, Cardinals baseball coming up.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Every day starts the same way, and then it goes wherever it wants.
Life doesn't stop for Cardinals baseball. It just kind of runs alongside it. Dave Glover here from the Dave Glover Show. We're talking real life, real stuff, and yes, a lot of Cardinals along the way, because that's how fans actually live it. It's just like happy hour, man. We get together every day from 1 to 5. We have fun, we laugh, we commiserate, we complain. DGS 1 to 5.
The Dave Glover Show at 1, and then Cardinals baseball.
I'm Bob Burke, founder and chairman of Burke America Parts Group, a family of brands that includes RepairClinic.com, an appliance and HVAC parts solution company that's grown into an international brand. Before AmericanEagle.com, we partially launched a new technology platform developed by another firm. American Eagle helped take our technology to a whole new level with digital marketing, software development, and business insights into our key markets, appliances, HVAC, and outdoor power equipment, and did so both on time and on budget. AmericanEagle.com has the resources, experience, and talent needed to produce solutions. Our new technology platform, developed by AmericanEagle.com, has produced tremendous results with higher traffic, conversion, engagement, and online revenue. If you have any home repairs you need to take care of, check us out at RepairClinic.com. If you need a world-class website or technology project, then I would highly recommend AmericanEagle.com.
Call AmericanEagle.com at 773-NETWORK. That's AmericanEagle.com, 773-NETWORK.
Let's talk about Air Medical memberships. In an emergency, you don't choose who transports you. Dispatch sends the closest, most appropriate aircraft. Here's what matters: speed, skill, advanced care. Like critical care crews trained for the toughest moments. Like onboard blood that can make the difference between life and death. Arch Air Medical Service delivers life-saving air medical care across Effingham and surrounding communities. When you call for help, we bring hospital-level care to you. Plus, we're part of Air Methods, the nation's largest air medical provider. And about the cost, the No Surprises Act protects patients with private health insurance from unexpected out-of-network air ambulance bills. You're only responsible for your in-network copay, coinsurance, or deductible. Medicare and Medicaid patients have similar protections. No surprise bills, no balance billing, no membership required. Because when it's your life on the line, what matters isn't membership, it's medicine. Learn more at airmethods.com. Copays, coinsurance, and deductibles are set by insurance providers, not Air Methods. Terms and costs may vary. Contact your insurer for details.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
It's so beautiful outside, 59 degrees. Sunshine today, mixing with some clouds, a high of 66. Tonight, partly cloudy, maybe a couple of showers, a low of 46. Weather sponsored by Financial and Tax Strategies.
If your retirement plan is mostly what if and a little fingers crossed, you deserve better answers than that. Check out Wealth and Wisdom Saturdays at 7 a.m. here on KMOX. I'm Gary Goldberg. Call 800-966-1690.
In 1991, John and Cindy Morelli started Morelli Tuck Pointing. As of today, they've won just about every award possible for the tuck pointing business. The BBB Torch Award, the Next Door Neighborhood Fave Award, and an A-plus rating from the Better Business Bureau. For homeowners, this is a great time to get a free inspection of your basement, your brick or stone fireplace, your garage interior, your porch, and maybe even your walkway. Indoor tuck pointing can be started now. Hi, this is Charlie Brennan. My wife Beth and I have used Morelli Tuck Pointing to work on 2 of our homes now over the last 25 years. We have found the Morelli bids to be fair, their crews are very polite, and they clean up after themselves. But most importantly, their work is beautiful. Family owned and operated since 1991. 314-645-1387, MorelliTuckPointing.com.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
Getting ready for baseball here, just 7 minutes away. We are now officially 7 minutes away from Cardinals pregame. First pitch is at 11:35. Our friend of the show we've had on before, Maury Brown, who covers the business of baseball. He has put out a list of potential Major League Baseball expansion sites of where a new team could go. And here are the candidates: Charlotte, Nashville, Orlando, Portland, Raleigh, North Carolina, Sacramento, which is where the A's are playing right now, Salt Lake City, Vancouver, or Montreal.
Well, at least they narrowed it down.
Yeah. You know what? I feel like it should go to Oakland first. You screwed Oakland. You had a bad owner that you allowed him to leave, and he's going to move his team to Vegas. You know what? Nobody else. And I would love for there to be more Canadian teams. That'd be cool.
More Canadian teams would be a ton of fun. Do you know
Yeah,
what
but screw that. Go back to Oakland. You took a team away from them. They didn't deserve it. They supported you even though you were bad.
They're not going to do it. I bet it's Nashville.
It probably will. Everybody loves Nashville.
Everybody loves
Nashville.
Nashville.
If you go to Orlando, you can just forget it.
That would be such a terrible idea.
We're going to come back tomorrow at 9 o'clock with Hancock and Kelly. They're with us every Friday, and that's what tomorrow is.
It's gonna be May.
Oh my gosh, it is gonna be May tomorrow.
It's gonna be May.
Okay. If by the way, if you missed any of the fun that we had today, you want to know where your mail is? It's in North County.
In a pile.
In a pile. And you can find it if you go back and listen to the podcast here on KMOX. We appreciate you. Chris and Amy show back tomorrow at 9. But coming up next, it is Cardinals baseball on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app. Time for the DeWitt Insurance Keys to the Game. I'm Chris Ranji, KMOX Sports. Series finale before coming back home.